just making sure that like we actually can see what's going on.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think we can, though. I just don't. I think if you're watching this and you want to shoot us a comment really quick, that would be awesome. Just to make sure that this is loading in real time, that would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Just to double check, we're just making sure that everything is going swimmingly.
That's all we can really hope for.
All we can do. That's all we can hope for. If you're watching and you just say "Hey" real quick, that would be great. Or you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to say hey.
She's going to say hey.
I'm going to say hey to us. In other news, we hope that your guys' weeks went well.
Hopefully everyone's getting ready for the giving of thanks and all that fun stuff. The giving of thanks.
Oh, good. Wait, we can. Look. Will said hi.
Oh,
Will!
Hi!
Hi, Will. Perfect. Thank you for saying hi.
Thank you for saying hi.
Perfect.
That made us feel so much better.
Woo, yeah.
Honestly made us feel so much
better.
better.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool.
Anyway, now that we've gotten my nonsense out of the way, let's talk about what San Diego Comic-Con is trying to do to any and all conventions that stand in its wake. To those unaware, Salt Lake City Comic-Con and San Diego Comic-Con are in a very heated legal battle over the use of the term Comic-Con.
Yeah, which is real weird.
That is, it's not only weird, it's very concerning because there are so many conventions out there that use the name Comic-Con.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're trying to fight over property of use of that name.
Yeah, they're trying to, I guess, trademark that name.
I guess so, and like
that term.
I am very much disappointed with San Diego Comic-Con because there's no need for that.
Yeah, what do we have to gain from this?
What does San Diego Comic-Con have? What does San Diego Comic-Con have to gain from having this as their like? It's frustrating because it all revolves around money.
Yes.
And if a convention wants to use the term Comic-Con, they're going to have to pay San Diego Comic-Con as for, I guess, use of the term.
For use of the term, or they could get sued.
Or they could be sued for use of the term without due process, which is exactly what's happening.
It's, the problem too is that and this is how I expressed to Tom that I felt earlier, is that what San Diego Comic-Con has to gain from this, besides money in getting the name back, is very kind of unclear, because San Diego Comic-Con is still revered as the number one, at least the biggest, most popular convention. It's still the mecca of conventions.
It's LineCon.
Yeah, it is LineCon, and it's still going to remain that way for quite a long time because it's the major convention where that you're going to get all of these big movie stars because of their location. The studios are willing to send people from their locations in California to San Diego.
Yes.
And so it just feels like, to me, a big shark trying to eat the minnows,
Yes.
And that really just, to me, feels exactly the opposite of what the the whole idea of a convention and the whole idea of the community is. We're all supposed to be underdogs and nerds that are happy to get together. And San Diego trying to... It just feels so wrong. It feels so dirty and weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
I don't want to liken this to present day politics, so I'm not going to, but it appears to be a stark similarity, and I'm not okay with any of it.
Yeah.
I feel like San Diego Comic-Con is trying to abuse their power as the premier convention that stands as a oh God, I can't even think of the word. It stands as a
pillar.
Pillar, yeah. We'll use that term. That sounds fine to me. That stands as a pillar in the convention community.
Yeah.
And I mean, as a cosplayer, it's very disheartening because, that means that conventions and cosplay are continuing to grow and thrive and become businesses. Yeah. So seeing this happen in our world, it's making everything feel more real, more politicized, more about money.
Yeah.
And I don't understand, like I say, I don't understand what San Diego Comic-Con has to gain other than just more money. And
completely.
To tell you the truth, I don't understand why they need that much money to begin with.
Yeah, they already make so much money.
They already make so much as it is.
They literally, their convention takes over. I have a couple of friends that live in San Diego full time, and they talk about how when San Diego Comic-Con comes in to town, when it is that time of year, it literally takes over San Diego.
Yes.
San Diego, as a city, I guess, makes so much money from Comic-Con, and then the convention also makes alongside them so much money. It's like a win-win for everybody, and it's just it's very disheartening. It's very annoying, and also there were conventions that happened before San Diego Comic-Con also. Like, they didn't invent the convention. Are they the biggest one? Totally. They are 100%. And are they the most quote-unquote mainstream one? Yes.
Actually, I'd like to take this time to read Will's comment.
Yeah.
I wrote a paper on this. New York Comic Con is actually a bigger con by population.
Yeah.
And cons overseas are even bigger. San Diego Comic Con is biggest on name alone.
Yeah.
So I think they're a little protective of it, maybe even a little insecure. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, but
teeny tiny little bit.
The problem is, but again, that makes me feel badly about them, because it's like they are such a huge, they're not losing notoriety.
We want to hold them close and just say, you're wanted, you're loved,
exactly.
You're a humongous convention, you have the biggest penis.
It's true, you do, we promise.
We promise you have the biggest convention thing.
Yeah, and it's I don't know what else to say about it other than that it's disappointing too, because like this is the sort of thing that could take a convention like
and just decimate
and just get rid of it. Yeah, they could 100%
any convention that is created in the United States that has the term Comic-Con in it,
they could bankrupt.
They can bankrupt them because that's now San Diego Comic-Con's property.
And again, this is all if the court says that
they go to court on, I think it was November 28th. November 28th they go.
Wow, so just in like a week
in a week they go to court.
That's
and
crazy.
they've accrued so much in legal fees. And the response for it is usually that, I mean, most of the people want Salt Lake City Comic-Con to win out.
Yes, yeah.
And
sorry, give us a second.
we're
technical difficulties.
Please.
Here we go.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Continue. Yeah.
But yeah, that's honestly how we feel on this subject. We feel that San Diego Comic-Con is trying to be that bully on the playground.
Yeah, they really are.
We are owed this because we're the
biggest and the best.
I mean, it sounds directly out of CNN. I can't. I'm sorry. I don't want to make this about politics, but Jesus Christ, the similarities and the parallels are quite stark and quite disappointing.
Yeah, it is. It's just bottom line disappointing, and it makes me not want to patronize that con, because the idea of this con being like, no, we got this name first. Like,
it's bullshit.
Don't get me wrong.
It's
you know
completely
what?
bullshit.
I would even understand. I would honestly even understand if some con was trying to use like SDCC as their like.
That makes more sense because at the end of the day, that's the same name. That's the same lettering.
But this is a different name. They didn't invent conventions, and it just goes against what I feel like the whole idea of this is. And it's. I understand that these things are becoming more corporate, and that we need to realistically look at them that way, but like I just don't understand how this is good PR for them at all.
And I know that this isn't exactly a topic of conversation that many people are interested in, but it has a lot to do with smaller conventions
and supporting your smaller
cons. Like I know that in order to use the term like Comic-Con, there is a certain fee that you have to pay. If I'm not mistaken,
I think so. Yeah.
But there are like New Jersey Comic Expo, Garden State Comic Fest.
Yep.
Like they're trying to like get around using Comic-Con because I think that this is something that has been coming for a very long time.
Yes, yeah.
And
but it also does. I will say that like I've had people that unfortunately have asked me, like Garden State Comic Fest, they've asked me if that is a convention because it doesn't have the name convention in it. And it's like one of those things where it feels like this is just a category of convention, and that's what it should be treated as. But we're gonna have to see what the court says. I'm really interested to see.
I'm definitely intrigued by this. I know I shared it before, and like only maybe 1 or 2 people was intrigued by it. But I was reading it, and I'm like, this kind of affects us as cosplayers because, I mean. I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Some conventions need the cosplayers.
Yes. Oh, are you kidding?
Some conventions need cosplayers to draw a crowd and to draw. And if you are unable to potentially use the term Comic-Con, you're. I mean, I'm not going to say you're pigeonholing yourself, but you're kind of like cutting yourself off from some part of the convention pie, I guess you can say. Yeah. And yes. Calling it a different name, calling it like, what's that new one that's going to be? ACBC is a good example. Atlantic City Boardwalk Con.
Oh,
like, it's still called a convention.
A con, yeah.
It's still called a convention. And it's like, I know they're trying to just take control over the term Comic-Con, but that's still...
That's one step away.
It's one step away. And like, San Diego, why you do this?
Why you gotta do this,
SDCC, what you doing,
why we gotta
baby?
Do this?
Why?
We're gonna be sure to, after we're done streaming, to share the post from... Salt Lake City. It's Salt Lake City.
I'm going to share the post from Salt Lake City Comic-Con just so that people get a general idea as to what exactly what was going on. Yeah. Because again, this, I think there's not a lot of people that are aware that this is happening and aware that this is going on. Yeah. And I think that more people need to be privy to this information.
Definitely. Yeah. It's important also because like this could take your local con, for those of us who can't afford to maybe go to San Diego Comic-Con, to go to the more glamorous
Emerald City Comic-Con.
Yeah, to go to the more of the like glamour cons. For those people, like that's a major no.
Again?
Oh, why? Why?
Arsenio wasn't even here.
Arsenio didn't even come.
We're having trouble playing this video. But now it's saying that we're live again? I don't know.
Hold on. I'm looking at this. Give me a second. Are we still live? Is this still happening? Sorry, guys. If you can see us, we just can't see us. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Oh, we're back?
We're still here.
We're back?
We're still here. Sorry.
Arsenio wasn't even here, but we're going to blame him anyway.
Yeah, exactly. On our end, it was saying that it was having trouble playing the video. It was just us. Okay, anyway. But yeah, we, what's it called? This affects you because this affects your local cons could be taken away. Like, this is the sort of situation that could literally bankrupt cons that are already, like,
this is no small measure. This is quite it kind of affects all of us. It might not affect us personally, but it's affecting the community because completely. It's one more thing that we're going to have to essentially like walk on eggshells with.
Yeah.
But I don't want us to talk about this for too long because while this is a very important topic of conversation, it unfortunately does not warrant us talking about it for the full 35 minutes.
No.
Because we're not lawyers. No. We're just cosplayers.
Exactly.
It's again, what's happening?
No, it's fine. We're good. It's just our computer, so we just keep on talking. Yeah.
Okay, we'll just keep on going.
It's just us. It's just us. It's going to keep on. It's just going to keep on going. But, however, we will hopefully have an update for you guys like next week.
You guys are streaming fine. So right. So I guess it's just the ish that's going on.
Yeah. Right, so we luckily like the next week pretty much, or not next week, but probably the week after we'll have an update.
We'll definitely have an update on this.
Which is going to be really interesting. Should be super. I'm really intrigued to see what the court is going to say about it.
Same.
We will see, man. We will see
what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of people getting along,
people getting along
and understanding like the discourse that happens in this community.
Yeah.
We are now going to shift gears.
Yeah.
Slightly to the left.
A little bit.
And we are now going to talk about making friends in this community.
Yeah.
Now, we've had this conversation before where it's like, how do you go up to someone? How do you approach someone? Yeah. When it comes to cosplay, it's a little easier, especially if you're in a matching theme.
Oh, yes, that's true.
That's one of the best ways, in my opinion, that you get to meet and like make friends with people. Yeah. Like when I first went to, I think it was my second Comic-Con when I did Catwoman. I went to the DC photo shoot and I just became close with...
Those sorts of meetups are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they're great ways, they're great network. They're great... Once more with feeling! Here lies Tom.
Here lies Tom. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
They are.
That's right.
They're amazing.
Yep, that's the end.
That's all, folks. Those sorts of meetups, I totally agree. Like
yes, they're great for networking.
I've gone to now the whole thing that my Sailor Moon group, the Moon Menagerie, is now like getting to host meetups and go to meetups, and we like make it a point now to go to the Sailor Moon meetups, like, and do it on that day. And like the amount of people I've met already just from going to like a couple of Sailor Moon meetups at conventions is unbelievable. Like, it's really such a great equalizer to be like, hey, we both love this thing. Let's talk about this thing and then learn more about one another.
Yep, and that's exactly how it starts.
That's exactly how it goes.
From the little acorn grew the mighty oak.
Exactly. And then Winnie the Pooh showed up. Then Winnie the Pooh stomped on the scene. Yeah,
oh, hell.
That's, I think, the most important thing. I've like encountered a lot of people that like, they're like, oh, how do you really, like, how do you go up to somebody and not seem weird about it? And I think the biggest thing is just like being respectful, being like, being
usually like the cardinal rule is if you see something you enjoy and you're, I don't want to use the term extroverted enough, but if you're bold enough and brave enough, you can go up to someone and say, I love that cosplay. How did you make it? What did you do? Like, did you buy it? Did you make it? What have you?
Yeah.
And just start the dialogue.
Yeah.
And that's literally all it takes.
That's
I mean,
it.
for people like us where it's very easy to just
a little bit easier,
talk to someone, gauge their reaction, just be
no, definitely. Just
be the bubbly and effervescent people that we are.
Yes. We just know who we be. We know who we be. But I understand how that could be.
We're very self-confident sometimes.
Yeah, we're all right in those sorts of situations. The thing to remember, too, is that, like, if you go up to somebody and you start that conversation, you have a really good interaction once, and you are a constant, like, con goer, chances are you're going to
run into them again. You're going to run into them again.
And then you run into them. This is a perfect example. Sailor Moon meetup last year, there was an amazing girl. I don't know her name. I follow her on Instagram. But there was this amazing girl who is in a fully hand-knit Sailor Moon cosplay. Literally, it was a knitted fuku. Like, unreal. Completely, like, fully hand-knit, unbelievable.
That takes gumption.
She was so great. And I saw her, and, like, we talked for a while. Whatever, this was at Anime Next.
Mm-hmm.
Then at New York Comic Con this year, I saw her again, and I was in my Sailor Mars, and I was like, I'm so sorry to bother you. I was like, I remember she was in a Zelda knit this time. She was in a Princess Zelda completely knit thing this time. I was like, we met at Anime Next. I was like, you were in your Sailor Moon. I was part of the group that was hosting that meetup. I was like, I so remember your thing, and we got to talking again, and we immediately followed each other on Instagram. I'm going to say hi to her every time I see her at a con.
And that's the end.
And that's it. And those relationships, obviously, you can, like, take them to another level if you become Facebook friends, you become whatever. But, like, it's much easier than a lot of people play it up in their heads, I think. I think it's mostly a mental game you have to overcome. And again,
that has a lot to do with it. Like the social anxieties that people generally have
completely
are going to more or less.
Yep.
Oh, wow, we have a lot of comments.
We have some comments.
Lots of comments.
We have to, like, kind of refresh this as we're going, guys, so please excuse. But this is, honestly, if it wasn't for my senpai, Mary G, I wouldn't have met Tom, and honestly, I would have been scared to go up to you.
That's another thing.
That's another thing. Tom is a monster. That's it.
I'm a monster.
Sometimes he's a sea monster.
I am a sea monster. My legs and everything. Boobs and all.
Boobs and all. No, and that's a totally valid, again, that's a, like, completely valid point, and I hear that really often from people, too, is that, like, being scared of going up to someone, like, I understand the feeling of, like, maybe it would be awkward or that person seems really confident.
There was a lot, like, you know those silly little meme games that people post, like, what was your first opinion of me? Showing a GIF, like, just tell me how you felt about me. A lot of people, when they first, like, meet me or see me, they're just like, he is very tall, he is very imposing, he has ginormous breasts, or he cracks his whip like nothing, and he has killer eyebrows. I don't know if I can go up to this queen. And I'm just like,
bow down. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
That's honestly how I am at first.
Honestly, if you want to, that's a great way to initiate. Be like, my queen, and then Tom's gonna want to know exactly who you are. No.
Yeah, it's kind of sad but true. I'm humble. I promise. I'm humble.
We're nice. We promise. No, I completely understand that. There have certainly been, for me, I feel like the thing that I'm constantly now, the only time that I find myself being like, ugh, is if it's somebody that I haven't met before who is like a cosplayer I really admire, or like that has a lot of followers. Sometimes those sorts of things can definitely trip me up a little bit, because I don't want to go up to somebody and seem like fangirly, I guess, to a degree. Like I don't want them to be like.
There's always going to be instances where, like when I'm so, with my nose in the air. The first time I met Jessica Negri, she was absolutely adorable. She.
Oh, you told me this. Yeah.
She was she was a charmer. Yep. Like her and D Pity, I enjoyed conversing with them, singing with them. Like we had a blast.
Yeah.
And I don't understand where this fear comes from.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, we're just people.
And that's the biggest thing you have to remind yourself with anybody when meeting celebrities,
meeting artists. They're just people.
Yeah.
They put their pants on one, sometimes two legs at a time.
Sometimes, which is really a feat. Bye, kids. Bye.
And on that note...
But yeah.
Yes. At the end of the day, people are people, and
exactly. That's what you just have to remember and keep on telling yourself. And like, it doesn't matter. And like I said, that's the thing that I get really tripped up about is sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's a person that I really, really admire, or that's a person that I like really would love to like connect with, but you don't want to come off. You just go up to them, you say, I love your work. How did you make that? What inspired you to make that? Asking questions. It's like making any sort of friends, which can be difficult as adults.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally. People completely lie to you when you're a kid. That's going to get easier making friends. It becomes a weird time, which is why conventions are so wonderful, because you have the opportunity to be like, There's a starter.
We're all nerds at the end of the day.
That's it. That's
the common denominator, kids.
Yeah.
I know fractions are a little difficult for some people, myself included, but the common denominator is nerdery and geekery. And if you can talk to someone for hours on end about Naruto or
exactly.
I'm trying to think of any of the other Superhero Academia.
Oh yeah,
just any type of anime, any type of thing that you enjoy so much, and if you can find people that like the same things as you with the same ferocity, then just keep at it, and you sometimes may have a friend for life after that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just like it's a great time. Don't be afraid. I think that's the biggest thing. The worst, as long as you're respectful to someone, it's
the same thing we say for over and over everything. Again. Be kind. Be respectful.
The worst case scenario is that it doesn't go anywhere, but at least you didn't have a bad interaction with one another.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that's it. That's all. You can't go up to every single person also thinking that that's going to end up being a best
You can't go up to someone dressed as, Batman saying, oh my God, I love The Little Mermaid.
Oh my God, under the sea. Under the sea. That's it.
I mean, that's honestly how it is that was how it was for us.
Oh, completely.
I think we knew of each other. Yep. And has anyone asked you like how you knew me or how you got to know me?
They have, and pretty much what I said was that we got to know each other. I remember one of our friends pointed you out to me, and I didn't get to go up and say hi to you, and then it turned out that we were going to be in the same Pokemon group, and so we got together. We were part of these bombshell Pokemon groups, and
when I did Pikachu, not Ghastly,
and we just instantly, like, it was really this moment of like, we were both it is a little bit of a different experience because we had that, like, oh, we were going to be in a group together, so we were going to be spending some time together. But we also just kind of immediately started joking with one another, and we could tell that, like, we had similar senses of humor. And then, hilariously, we found out that we lived, like, a town
over from each other.
And I literally drove him home. I drove him, 3 hours home.
And
very fun.
And that's honestly how it starts.
Yeah.
It usually starts either by random happenstances.
Yeah.
It usually starts by people just going up to someone and saying, I love this, tell me more about it.
Yep. Yeah.
Or just camaraderie.
Yeah.
Like I've seen...
Yeah, totally.
And this is something that we're actually going to be talking about next week.
Yes.
With people cosplaying the same characters.
Same characters, yeah.
Which is... Whew,
it can go either way. I'm going to be honest.
Literally go either way because they're either going to love you or detest you.
Yes, yeah.
And Matthew, we're doing okay.
We're doing okay.
We're doing great,
all right.
honey.
I just wish that this comment situation was a little bit better.
Oh,
we're gonna have to figure it out.
We're gonna have to figure
it out.
We're gonna have to fix it in editing. We'll fix it in
exactly.
editing.
It'll all be fine.
Post-prod.
But yeah, we're doing well. Thanks for asking.
We're doing well.
We are here, so that's all that matters.
That is all that matters.
It is.
But that's going to be our topic of conversation for next week. And I don't know where we are at.
Because it's on the bottom now. Yeah, this comment situation is weird. Ed said, "Hi, I'm Ed, and I'm an awkward photographer." But you know what's so funny is like Ed. So I'll speak to like Ed's situation now though. Like I met Ed. Ed and I met off of like Instagram. We ended up doing a shoot together, and like. You're the nicest person at conventions, though. And, like, Ed will also, like, there have been multiple situations in which Ed knows someone that I love that I would really like to meet. And Ed has been like, oh, let me go introduce you. Like, and that's amazing, too. That's amazing, too. Like, there are so many ways to make friends, to build relationships with one another.
Social. I know it's very difficult.
It can be.
It can be very difficult for certain people because there are certain people that are introverts. There are certain people that have different types of not public anxiety. What is it again? Not social anxiety.
Social anxiety. Yep. Yeah.
I know words. I know the best words.
We know so many words. So many of them.
Literally, Webster Merriam is tattooed on our necks.
It was a choice. We were drunk. That's it. We were feeling really literate that day. Really literate.
The puns today.
That's
My
it.
goodness.
I'm sorry. Accept that. I really like this. Gemma said, definitely remembered Tom coming up to me at Inbion? What con? Inbion Con. And thinking, hi, you're tall, and no clue who you are, even though you added me on Facebook. Oh, that's another thing. Like,
okay.
So
okay. This is something that we do.
Yes.
If we have a lot of friends in common,
yeah.
I am going to potentially add you and become your best friend.
But here's the thing. You also don't have to feel... I will say on the flip side of that, though, if you're like, I don't know who this person is, and don't add them, that's also totally fine. But if you're comfortable and you're like, hey, I see we have a lot of mutual friends. Looks like you're a cosplayer. Why not try it?
I've actually started a number of friendships that way, where I'm just like,
completely.
Let me add this person.
Yep.
Because obviously we're going to run into each other with the amount of mutual friends.
Or you recognize someone from a
Or you recognize someone from a convention.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely adorable because, as a matter of fact, Gemma... the reason Gemma not only said because I was tall was because I was cosplaying as Sindel that day, and I was in my like 7 I was in my 7-inch hooker heels.
You tall.
So not only was I like 7 feet, like a skyscraper,
exactly.
but yeah, it was just. Oh dear! Ed's not a photographer. He draws cosplayers with crayons. Jazz, my love, where are you?
Nate, so this was great. I met Nate for the first time at New York Comic Con this past year when I was shooting with Ed, and like the first thing he comes over and does is it just starts like making comments about Ed. And so this is now my full impression of you, Nate. But you seem wonderful and lovely. And also Matthew said Ed is good people, really good people, and Ed is. And that's the amazing thing about cons. You can meet really, really good people, and that's why you should take advantage of that opportunity if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking to make connections in the cosplay community, it can be great.
Matt made a good point. I only add if we hit off great at a con or I've seen you more than once. Can't be too careful.
Yes.
And you're right.
Completely.
You're 100% correct.
Yep.
There was, I think, one person that I added randomly.
Yeah.
And he turned out to be this really vile human being.
Really?
He was a Batman cosplayer. And you probably know who I'm talking about.
I bet I know who you're talking about immediately.
He also made some very crass comments about a Harley Quinn cosplayer, who was plus sized.
Oh,
and I think it was because he shared it. I'm not making any excuses for the man, because at the end of the day, some of the stuff he was posting was kind of really awful.
Terrible.
Awful, terrible, potato, let's call the whole thing off. But yeah, I mean, there are just, you don't know.
No.
And I mean, I take that chance, because at the end of the day, no one knows my real name.
Yeah.
I mean, except for the people that were friends with me, before.
Yep.
But I make it a priority that I am here to love everybody. I am here to make everyone feel welcome in this community, even though it can sometimes be a little cliquish.
Yep.
But that's my MO throughout this entire situation. Same. If I'm adding you, it's because I potentially find you attractive.
Fair.
I feel like we have enough mutual friends that we know of each other, and we can become better acquaintance to each other. Or I'm just very interested in your work and will add you that way.
I've definitely added people. When I think about it, there's definitely been a couple of instances, I think, where I've added people that I know I've seen at cons before, who I'm like pretty positive have seen me at cons. We have mutual friends, and I've even like messaged them before and just been like, hey, we met very briefly at New York Comic Con. I just wanted to reach out because I think you're a great cosplayer. Would love to get to know you more, or whatever. Like a really kind, respectful, curt message, whatever, that can also remind somebody, oh, that is where I know them from, whatever. But that is kind of the brilliant thing about the cosplay community, is it's true, you start to recognize names of your cosplay friends, and you're like, oh, they must be a part. Yeah. Ooh, it's a small world, so you better watch what you say and watch what you do.
It's hysterical because there are so many cosplayers out there, but it's still a small community of people, because
the degrees you are away from
so
people.
many degrees of 6 degrees of separation is extraordinary in this community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ed, we are not going to stop. You are not a nobody.
Like literally, I feel like my goal in the cosplay community at this point is to shower Ed with as many compliments as I possibly. That's literally all I do. I feel like I'm at cons and I'm like, Ed, can I get you food? You look like you haven't eaten yet. I've literally bought Ed food at cons before.
You look famished.
Ed will vouch me on this. I have bought him food at conventions before, because I've been like, you haven't taken a break. You've definitely not taken a break. As he's like falling over. But yeah. And if you guys have any suggestions too of things that have worked for you, ways that you've made friends in the cosplay community before, would love. I love the idea that this can help people.
I don't want us to touch too much on the whole harassment thing, but I actually posted something that Nate had spoken about with using safety words and whatnot. Yeah. Sometimes the best friends you make are the ones that save you out of nasty situations.
Completely.
Yeah. And I think that speaks volumes to the content of the character that you are like talking with.
Yeah, completely. I have to say, I'm really impressed. I just the other day saw on Instagram, I have been seeing over the last couple weeks, and it could be because of the nature of the world right now and all this other stuff. Whew! But I really have seen actually some people creating like some little lists and warning people of like photographers that have been bad to them in the past, like harassed them in the past, not like they didn't get along, like that they've been harassed. Same thing with cosplayers. I've seen recently, I have to really say, I've been seeing a little bit more than that, which I had not
because
seen before.
People are becoming more emboldened to out their assaulters and
completely.
to out the people that have done them wrong. And you know something? Keep on doing it.
We're proud. We are proud of you, and we support you speaking your truth of those things that have happened to you, because that's we have to have each other's back, and that's become kind of one of the I think that's like something really beautiful about this live show, is that like we want you to know, and we try to express it every episode, that we have your back.
Yes.
And that like the community, we want the community to have your back, and in so many instances the community will, and we can just keep on making that stronger and really impressing that upon people. It's a great thing. It's a really, really great thing. This community can be amazing.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to touch back upon what you had said as to why you wanted to, why you got involved in this thing.
Yeah.
I got involved because I just became everyone's mother.
Yeah, completely.
That was literally it.
Yeah.
I started going, and then like in true to form fashion, I kept on checking up on people and making sure they were okay.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, that's honestly how I got the name Con Mom. Like, me and a girlfriend were talking, and she was just like, I get it because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And
you don't do it with any sort of backhanded intentions.
Never.
Which is like which is unfortunately like a thing that I think a lot of people have in the back of their minds is like, oh, is this someone that just likes drama? Is this someone that just like wants to collect gossip or whatever?
I say this.
Yeah.
If anybody ever comes to me with drama, it stays with me.
Yeah. Yep.
There's full disclosure. I am very discreet when it comes to the worries and the woes of other people.
Yeah.
And I try and
try to be there.
I try to be there for them. I try to support them in any and all ways possible. There are times when, yes, I will do the extra dramatic thing.
Yeah.
And post vague book a little bit.
Yeah, vague book. Oh my god.
I mean, it's a term.
Oh my god, I've never heard that before. Vague
You've
book?
never heard vague booking?
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. It is a beautiful expression.
Amazing. I love that.
But that is something that I will sometimes do is to not point fingers, but to basically say, hey, something's rotten here and I ain't liking it.
Yeah, completely. Tom is like Las Vegas. What happens with Tom stays with Tom. Perfect. That's how it should be. Like Will said, it's the importance of the community where we can band together to stand against something that we don't like. And that's the same thing with we can stand together to be there for one another and really care about one another. Because this is a really awesome thing that we all are getting to experience together in this ever-growing community. And Brooklyn Link
I vague book frequently.
Yeah. Amazing.
Oh my goodness. When it comes to shade,
when it comes to shade, the blinds are down. Yeah. That's it.
The puns! I am dying with these puns.
I'm on it today. I don't know what's going on. This is these are my good days. These are my good days. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what time we're at.
Where are we at?
It's not even showing.
It's not even showing. That's exciting.
Oh, wow. Wow.
We're at 50
because
minutes.
10 minutes, to be fair, 10 minutes of that was
so we're still at 38
the countdown.
Minutes. We're still at 38 minutes.
Yes, 10 minutes of that was the countdown.
But yeah, I mean, that is how we created our friends. We created our friends by mutuality in likes and
in saying, hey, that thing you made is really cool, let's talk about it.
Exactly.
And just asking questions, being inquisitive with people in a respectful and fun manner. You have this awesome opportunity that you already have a conversation starter. You already, in what other places as an adult do you have that? It's great. It's a great time. I
don't know why this is my corporate entity page. Sorry. Love y'all.
Will you please? We know the real you, okay? We know the real you. Stop hiding. Link. Link.
Oh, my heavens. Oh, I'm dead. Deceased. I'm deceased.
Bye. I love it. Cackling for days.
Oh, all the cackling.
All the cackles.
All the cackles.
But yeah, if you guys want to leave in the comments for other people that are watching this later on.
For others
that are later on. We love when you guys comment after the fact because we
had
some
engagement. We love engagement.
And we've had some really, really insightful things posted after the fact from people, which is amazing. So we really, really appreciate it. And in the future, we'd love to highlight some of those comments in the actual live stream after and that sort of stuff. So please let us know. Because this is something that I certainly get asked about it all the time. How do you especially at some of the bigger cons too, where it feels like there are so many people, how do you make connections with people?
Start small.
It's all about first going up and saying hi.
You know how it works? You go up to the weakest one in the group, start a conversation with them, and then work your way up the ladder to the alpha. I learned that from Mean Girls.
Brilliant. So fetch. So fetch. This is that was the best moment. I literally have a burn book palette now in there.
You do?
I do.
Oh, I want to see that one.
Oh, it's amazing. We We have so much to
We
do,
have
y'all.
so much to talk about. So much to talk about.
All right, guys. I think that's probably. Do you think that's probably
I think we've reached that point.
Oh my gosh.
Last week our cosplayer of the week was Brooklyn Link.
Yes.
And this week's cosplayer of the week is none other than MaWeezy.
Yes.
We love and appreciate her work.
Yes, that is someone I really want to meet. I've not met
so
her.
Delicious.
I've just seen from afar, and oh my gosh, her work is incredible.
Such a wonderful, warm-hearted individual.
Yeah, her work is just like, I mean, it's
her
so
armor
nice.
is exquisite.
It's so nice when you learn that somebody and this is our whole thing, when you learn that somebody that's really, really good at this stuff is also a really nice person.
Yes.
Because I just from the side, I cannot believe her armor work, her FX makeup work too. Recently, if you guys go onto her page, she did for New York Comic Con a night queen sort of Daenerys White Walker mashup.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
It was unbelievable.
Beautiful
I showed my dad. I was like, Dad, you have to see this Game of Thrones cosplay. Yeah, it was amazing. So
her armor work is fabulous.
Cosplayer.
She is again just a very wonderful person.
Yay!
And she is our cosplayer of the week.
Our cosplayer of the week.
We love you. We love you so much.
Yeah, be sure to check out. We'll have a post up on her tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, and we got tags going on. Oh my gosh. Yeah, tag her. Let her know.
Let her know.
Let her know, because I really want to meet her and fangirl over her IRL. She be sure to check out tomorrow. We'll be featuring 2 of her cosplays on our page.
Yes.
And we have an Instagram. We have an Instagram page.
We do have an Instagram page
Yes.
now. Those pictures will be up on there.
Yes.
Also with any type of bric-a-brac that we see on Facebook, we'll share to that.
Completely.
Just to keep it, fresh and light and fragrant.
Yes. Oh, and Nate says MaWeezy is so unbelievably talented and such a sweet young lady.
Yes.
Only nice things are said about her, which is great. That's exactly what you want to hear. And Brooklyn Link, who was our cosplayer last week, says MaWeezy is my hero. So we're doing well here. This is happening.
This is a thing that is happening.
Yeah.
And we are very thankful that we have you along for the ride.
Yes. Yay. Thank you guys so much. Is that it?
I think that's it.
All right.
I think it's that time.
I have to figure out how to stop.
Now we have to
this
figure
now.
out how to stop it.
So,
Ciao meow for now, guys.
Bye.
Bye.